Indirect object pronouns. What are the indirect object pronouns? Okay, so the indirect object pronouns, I pronomi oggetto indiretto, are as follows. So we have mi, ti, gli. Okay, so lui gets replaced with li. Lei is replaced with lei. Okay, and lei are the same here. One's capitalized. And then over here on the plural side, we have ci, vi, and loro or li. Okay, I'm showing you both of these, loro and li. However, technically, loro is the correct pronoun for the third person plural and is placed after the verb. Okay, all these other ones are placed before the verb, but loro comes after the verb. However, li is commonly used in its place. Okay, so it's very common to hear people use li before the verb, just like all these other ones, instead of loro after the verb. Okay, so that's why I'm showing you both of these, but technically loro is the correct way to, is the correct indirect object pronoun for loro. Okay, but like I said, this is very commonly used. So for lui or loro, they're going to use li a lot of the time. Okay. Note that the first person and second person object pronouns are the same for both direct and indirect object pronouns. Okay, so basically everything above this line here is the same for both direct and indirect object pronouns. The differences are here in the third person. Okay, so either it's going to be lo and la for the direct object pronouns, or li and lei, or li and loro, okay, for the plural. For example, we have our example again. So Luigi gives the book to Paolo. Luigi dà il libro a Paolo. Okay, so a Paolo gets replaced by li in this case. So li comes before the verb dà. So Luigi gives the book to him. Luigi gli dà il libro. Okay, so to Paolo becomes li, which is the indirect object pronoun being used. So because Paolo is the third person singular and it's masculine, okay, we use li. And again, we put it before the verb. Okay. If you don't get this, if this isn't super clear yet, we have a few more slides to go through. So just stick with it and hopefully it'll become more clear as we move on, okay? Continued. Is there another form of indirect object pronouns? Yes. So you can also put more emphasis on indirect object pronoun by using one of the following after the verb. Okay, so before we were talking about using me and ti, okay, for example, in the first ones here. So instead of me and ti, we would use a me and a te. Okay, a me, a te, a lui, so to him, a lei or a lei, to her or to you formal. Then we have a noi, so to us, a voi, to you all, or a loro for all of these here. Okay. For example, is Pasquale giving the book to me or to you? So the emphasis is on to me or to you, not on the book. So Pasquale dà il libro a me o a te? So you see how there's more emphasis put on the indirect object pronouns here by using a me or a te. Another example, Luigi is giving his car to me, not to him. Okay, so we have Pasquale dà la sua macchina a me, non a lui. Okay, so the emphasis is on these words here. So a me, non a lui, to me, not to him. And finally, I want to give this rose to you. Voglio dare questa rosa a te. So not to anybody else, to you. So that's why we used a te instead of ti. Okay. So instead of saying ti voglio dare questa rosa, we'd say voglio dare questa rosa a te. Okay, see the difference? So we're just putting more emphasis on the indirect object pronoun. And this is only for indirect object pronouns, okay, not for direct object pronouns, just to clarify.